Welcome. Today, we'll take a step beyond the physical world, into a realm that lies between death and life, known as the Bardo. This is the world described in one of the most mysterious and spiritual texts ever written, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. For over 1,000 years, these sacred teachings have helped monks, yogis, and ordinary people prepare for the great unknown. But don't let the title fool you. This book isn't about fear or superstition. It's about clarity, awareness, and ultimately, liberation. Section 1. What is the Tibetan Book of the Dead? The Tibetan Book of the Dead is not a single book in the usual sense. It's a collection of teachings, sacred scriptures passed down through generations of Tibetan Buddhists. Its original name is Bardo Thödol, which means liberation through hearing in the Bardo. The Bardo is the in-between, a transitional space that begins the moment we die and lasts until we are reborn. According to the teachings, the Bardo is a state where the soul, or consciousness, is no longer anchored to the body, but still deeply affected by its past actions, thoughts, and desires. During this time, the soul encounters a series of experiences that can be peaceful, terrifying, or confusing. But with the right guidance, it can also be a path to freedom. The text was meant to be read aloud to the dying person, or even after death, to help guide their consciousness through this unfamiliar landscape. It's like a spiritual map, designed to awaken the soul in the moments it matters most. Section 2. The Moment of Death, Chikai Bardo. The journey begins at the moment of death, in a phase known as the Chikai Bardo, the Bardo of the moment of death. Here, the physical body shuts down. Breathing stops. The senses fade away. But for the mind, things become strangely clear. The teachings describe an experience of a pure, radiant light, a bright, all-encompassing awareness. This is known as the clear light of reality, or the primordial light. It is the true nature of the mind, untouched, infinite, peaceful. If the soul recognizes this light and lets go of everything else, it can merge with it and achieve complete liberation. No rebirth, no suffering, no more illusions. But most people aren't prepared. The light feels too intense, too unfamiliar. Out of fear or confusion, the soul turns away and misses the chance for freedom. And so, the journey into deeper layers of the Bardo begins. Section 3. Facing Reality, Chunyid Bardo. Now we enter the Chunyid Bardo, the Bardo of the experiencing of reality. In this stage, the soul begins to encounter visions, some beautiful, others frightening. First come the peaceful deities, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, appearing in glowing forms of light and compassion. They offer calm, wisdom, and a chance to awaken. These aren't external beings, but symbolic reflections of the soul's own enlightened potential. But if the soul doesn't recognize these as its own inner nature, if it turns away in confusion or fear, then the peaceful visions disappear. Soon after, the wrathful deities arrive, terrifying, fierce, and overwhelming. They hold weapons, their faces are twisted, their voices roar. But again, these are not evil beings. They are symbolic projections of the mind, all the fears, desires, regrets, and unprocessed emotions from the soul's previous life. The text gently reminds the soul, these visions are not real. They are your own mind. Do not be afraid. If the soul can stay aware, even now, liberation is still possible. But if not, the pull of karma begins to take hold. Section 4. The Call to Rebirth, Sidpa Bardo. The final stage is the Sidpa Bardo, the Bardo of becoming. Here, the soul is no longer in a space of visions and light. Instead, it begins to feel the consequences of its previous actions, a gravitational pull toward a new life, shaped by karma. Desires arise, regrets surface, longings stir. These emotions guide the soul toward a new existence, drawing it to certain places, families, and even to a specific womb. The teachings say that if the soul remains unaware, it becomes trapped by these forces and is pulled into a new birth, continuing the endless cycle of samsara, birth, death, and rebirth. But even now, liberation is possible. If the soul recognizes that what it sees is illusion, that the desire for rebirth is just another trick of the mind, then it can break free. The Tibetan Book of the Dead is not just a funeral text. It's a guide to help the soul remember and awaken. Section 5. Wisdom for the Living. You might be wondering, what does this have to do with us, the living? In Tibetan Buddhism, the Bardo isn't just a realm we enter after death, it's a metaphor for everyday life. Right now, we are all in a kind of Bardo, a transitional state between birth and death. And the way we live, the thoughts we think, and the habits we form shape what comes next. Every moment of fear, anger, or greed is a small Bardo, and every moment of clarity, compassion, or self-awareness is a chance for liberation. That's why Buddhist monks meditate on death. Not to be morbid, but to stay awake, to remind themselves that the body will one day fade, but awareness remains. And so, the teachings of the Bardo Thödol are also teachings about life. They tell us, don't wait for death to wake up. You can wake up now. The Tibetan Book of the Dead invites us to see death not as a final wall, but as a doorway, a moment of truth, a rare chance to recognize the mind's true nature. It speaks to the soul in its most vulnerable state, when the body is gone and the mind is free but lost. It offers light, not fear, awareness, not punishment, choice, the choice, not fate. And it reminds us that the journey is never really about what happens after we die. It's about how we live now, and whether we choose to face our inner world with courage and clarity. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or unsure, remember these ancient words, spoken into the darkness for 1,000 years. These thoughts are not who you are. These emotions are not real. You are the light behind them. Be still, recognize it, and be free. If you're enjoying this journey through art and meaning, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want more stories like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for being here.